Hey everyone, Kyle here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to do B2B lead generation. So essentially, if you're selling any type of product or service, business to business, the first thing you must understand is you must generate leads for your business. And really what I count as a lead is someone, let me go ahead and close this, someone who is interested and provides name, email, and phone number. So this is what I'd really consider a lead. Some people consider just contact information as a lead. I don't really think of that as a lead. For a lead to be valid, in my view, is they have to be interested and they have to give you contact information. So now that we have a clear understanding of what a lead is, there is really 5 main ways to generate leads, and everything could be classified under these methods of generating leads, but let's go ahead and put this in here. So 5 main ways to generate leads, and I'll go through each of these, but first is going to be outbound, second is going to be paid media, third is going to be earned media, fourth is going to be partnerships, fifth is going to be owned media, and then really the last one, I'll put 6 in here because there is another method. So 6 main ways to generate leads. Last method is going to be word of mouth. So now that you understand every single way of generating leads really falls into one of these 6 categories, let's talk about each of the ways of generating leads. So first is outbound. So outbound is really the method of one-on-one communication to generate leads. So there are a few different methods for outbound lead generation. There is cold calling, there is cold email, social selling, and door knocking are really the main 4 ones that I could think of. But really any method of one-on-one communication to generate leads is outbound. So if you're doing cold calling or cold emailing or really social selling, what you want to do is first, let's go ahead and write this a little bit more. What you want to do is first build out an ICP. So that is an ideal customer profile. So things you need to think about are company size, location, employee title, and industry are really the main ways of building out an ICP. So let's just say you're selling marketing services. An ICP example 1 would be 10 employees in the Salt Lake City area. We're going to be selling to marketing managers, director of marketing, VP of marketing, stuff like that. And we're going to be selling to e-commerce businesses specifically. So after you build out an ICP, you're going to want to build out your script. So building out a script should be very simple. Really the framework I do is just have a quick greeting or intro, give them a value proposition, then essentially ask for a meeting. So it could be a cold call script, could just be like, hey Joe, how are you? He's going to say something like, good, how are you? You could just go straight into your value prop. My name is Kyle, I'm with XYZ company. We're helping other Salt Lake City companies grow their revenue with our digital marketing services. Would you be open to maybe meeting for 10 to 15 minutes this week or next? And he'll give you back something. And if you do this 100 times a day, you'll eventually set meetings. So build out your script for calls, emails, and social selling. And the third thing you're going to want to do is get data. So there are many different data platforms. There is probably 20 plus data platforms out there. The big ones I'm seeing, which I don't have any ties to these, but just a lot of people are using them, are ZoomInfo and Seamless.ai. So what these give you is you could really filter out by your ICP for employees. You could get direct numbers, office numbers, business emails, and social media contact info. For a lot of these accounts that you're looking for, be known, Zoom info is very expensive, and Seamless.ai is still pretty expensive also, but essentially they have the data, so I don't know what you're going to do about it, but you need to get that data. And then the fourth thing is really reaching out to at least 50 plus people a day through, like I said, calls, emails, and social. And this is one-on-one messages, so just making calls. And really, when you're calling, you want to either be calling their mobile number, which is the information you're going to get, or their office number. Calling a business line directly doesn't really work at all, especially if you're selling to bigger companies. So you're going to want to call mobile numbers or office numbers. You're going to want to email their business emails, and you're going to want to really connect to any social media account. In 2023, definitely the best method I like is cold calling, just because you could handle objections on the phone. With emails and social, you're just going to get ignored a lot, and there are really caps on how many emails you could send a day, usually around 50 to 100 cold emails per day. And social media, there's going to be caps on how many friend requests you could send, or connection requests you could send, or DMs on Instagram you could send. So this is really the strategy to generate leads through outbound. And like I said, this is one-on-one messaging. So outbound is a super popular method for B2B. A lot of B2B companies are using it, and is definitely a good strategy. The next strategy is paid media. So this is essentially running ads to generate leads. And when I say running ads, there is a broad category of ads you could run. There's Facebook ads, there's Google ads, there's LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads. There's even more traditional forms of paid media. So there is stuff like you could buy real estate property to generate leads for your B2B business. It's not super popular, but people do it. You could do billboard ads, TV ads, radio ads, really any type of paid marketing to generate leads. What you're going to want to do when generating leads on these platforms is you're going to want to make sure you qualify the leads. So if you're running Facebook ads definitely work for B2B, but you have to make sure you qualify. And how you could easily qualify is just ask them for company name and position at the company. So if you're running Facebook ads, doing a lead gen ad campaign, make sure you're qualifying the leads, and really just making sure you're selling to the right person before you're getting into the sales presentation stage. After that is earned media. So earned media is really just creating content to generate leads. And when you're generating leads with earned media, you want to qualify leads also. Really, all of these other methods, you're going to want to qualify leads. The good thing about outbound is you're going to be very direct in one-on-one messaging. So usually they're going to be higher quality. All these other methods, you're going to want to make sure you qualify them by getting company name information, and also just making sure they have a budget, making sure you're speaking to the right person. So you're not speaking to a low-level employee, or speaking to someone higher up at the company, making sure there's a need, and making sure that the timing is right when qualifying these leads. So after that, earned media, there is essentially 4 ways of generating content. There's video, audio, word, and photo. Really the big ones for generating leads, I would say for B2B, is going to be video, audio, and word. Video, you could obviously create YouTube videos, stuff like that. Audio, you could do a podcast, and then word, you could create SEO-based content. So that is earned media. After that is partnerships. So this is a very good strategy. Essentially, you could partner with creators, or you could partner with other businesses that are similar. So if you're selling a specific SaaS, it could be very beneficial to build a partnership with another SaaS that is not a direct competitor, but someone you could both share leads with. So this is just partnering with another person or company. Next is finally owned media. So this is going to be a way to generate leads. This is not, I would say, super popular for B2B just because owned media is following up with people who have already interacted with your business. So things like email marketing, SMS marketing, if you have a push notification list, and let me make sure that is spelled right. Owned media, like I said, if someone has interacted with your business and gave you information, this could also be following up with your CRM. So let me just add this in here. But think of owned media as essentially a tool to follow up with past people who've interacted with your business. Definitely a good way. If someone didn't buy, you could put them in an email sequence after that and just follow up with them for maybe 6 to 12 months to do another demonstration or meeting. And then finally, the last one, if you could generate leads this way, is word of mouth. So this is probably one of the best ways to generate leads, because when you get a word of mouth referral, the sales process becomes a lot easier. But it's definitely hard to generate word of mouth, especially in the early days of business. So this is really the complete guide to generating B2B leads. Like I said, if you're doing outbound, you don't necessarily need to qualify super hard on these leads. But if you're doing any of these other methods, you want to make sure right when you generate a lead, which is someone who's interested, you want to qualify. And I'll just put this again right here, qualify. And then the way you really do that is you get company name, company title for the person you're speaking with. Like I said, you want to speak with someone a little bit higher up at the company, and you're going to want to make sure they have a budget set aside to invest into something, that you're speaking to the right person. So authority is make sure it's not a low-level employee. Next, after that is need. So make sure they either want to buy your product or they want to solve a problem of what your product or service solves. And then the last thing, you want to make sure the timing is right. There shouldn't be any budget freezes, anything like that. You want to make sure that they're able to invest in, let's just say, a marketing service now, if the time is right and they like everything about the company. So this is ultimately the guide on how to do B2B lead generation. I went through a lot of stuff in this video. If you guys want more content about lead generation and stuff like that, go ahead and subscribe down below.